Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan CP Steele, and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. And today we are live. We are live because you know what? I will be 100% honest. We are live because I forgot my schedule got all topsy turvy. I did a bunch of additional stuff. I put up a ceiling fan. Like literally, life went upside down crazy for the last couple of days, and I completely and utterly forgot to record a video for today. So I will. I'm going to put this on my shoulders. It was totally on me. I was at the gym this morning and sitting in the sauna. And I was like, man, what do I got? What do I got left to do today? I was like, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. You know, the video goes out at noon, and then I stopped and went, video, and that's when I realized that I was going to need to do a live today because I completely forgot to record a video this week. So my apologies goes out to all of you, wonderful. Tales from a Professional Nerd fans out there and to my subscribers because so today has turned into I'm going to update you on the week, update you on some cool stuff, and then we'll just kind of open it up for questions and we'll talk. And if we don't get a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, it'll be a shorter video today because I still have a ton to do before this weekend. So let's see. Where do we want to start? Let's start. Season's greetings, Justin. Let's go ahead and start with personal. Personal wise, things are fine. My kid turned 15 this week. My wife has a birthday here in a couple of days, and to help with our game room situation and to check off one of the things that Natalie had said that she wanted for a birthday or whatnot is my son and I put up a ceiling fan in our game room this weekend. Hi, Agnes. Yeah, so that was fun. That was great, and it is very well needed. That room gets a little funky when you pack it full of gamers. Speaking of the gym, weight loss is going just fine. I'm sitting pretty much in the same place I was. The holidays are always hard because of holiday food and not being able to just do as much. Going to the gym has definitely helped. And basically, I'm hoping to just continue to kind of get through December coasting at the same level and then start hitting it again hard once we're through the holidays. Painting wise, I primed something that when it's done, I'll definitely want to show you guys. I got some primer on the fire drake, the Inferno Drake for my Conquest Dwagum. It's all fully magnetized to change its rider if need be, but it is awesome. And it's primed, and I'm going to get some paint on it when I get the opportunity, probably over holiday break. Gaming-wise, yeah, I don't think I've done much. I've been very busy. I got a whole bunch of pre-playtest games in for Warzone Eternal, and I say pre-playtest is there are the primary units, the things that we've already announced, the stuff that we've already told people about. That's coming out with the Kickstarter wave, the stuff that's going to be heading to fabrication soon. That stuff, other than a few minor tweaks here and there, and very minor, like maybe wording changes more than like any kind of numerical changes, that stuff's basically done. But I am trying to get things ready for the playtesters to get their next wave of stuff. So that means that I put in as many games and even if it's not full games, if it's just like let's put these two guys, put this in a force, put this force, let's play a couple of rounds. Let's start them, 18 inches apart and just see how the numbers work out. We I put a lot of stuff through the ringer this last weekend, and it's I'm very happy with some things. Some things worked exactly like I wanted it to. There were a few things that definitely I'm looking forward to getting in there with the eraser and the pen and the wrench to fix a few things. But overall, I'm very happy with what we've got planned. And in fact, actually, the meeting I just had before I started recording this, Alex and I set up a date to go sit down for several hours and plan out kind of the next couple of years of what's going to come out, roughly when it's going to come out. And a lot of that is, of course, based off of sales and access. And let's say that when things become available, we go to our first show that has product to sell, and we just blast through all of it. If we hit a huge wave like that, if we get a big push, it might speed things up a little bit. It might change, that instead of only putting one unit out for each faction, we put 2 units out or whatever. We'll figure it out. Nothing's set in stone, obviously. But more importantly for me, for the people who have been with Warzone Eternal a long time, they will note that in the from the last edition of the rules to the current edition of the rules, our stat line changed. How we have things ordered on the card and on the stat readout, we moved some things around. Obviously, everything still means the same thing. It's just now in a different place. So I had to go into all of my playtest files, my pre-playtest files, all my design notes and stuff, and rearrange things. So just to give you a general idea now, and I want you guys to, is just to give you just a tiny little idea of how much stuff I have in the queue for pre-playtest. Because I'm so excited for Warzone Eternal to be a thing. I think I have changed the format on 60 units, 60 or 65 units at this point, which is a lot. And my goal, my design philosophy here is to set up the queue in the way so Alex has so much, that Resnova has so much stuff ready to rock and roll, that when we are happy with something, we don't have to wait 6 months for us to redesign something or to come up with something new. That it's just the queue is just backed up. That when the stuff that is currently going into fabrication, it leaves a hole for us, for the playtesters, to have their attention turned to wave 2. Plus the special stuff that comes out in the in Graviton Protocol. When that stuff is done in playtest and goes off to fabrication, then the playtesters will be receiving wave 3 of playtest. And so that's the stuff that I'll start pre-playtesting once I send the wave 2 stuff off to playtest. So that's what I want. And I want to be able to make sure that if something happened to me, if I got super busy, if I fall into a game-related coma or whatever, that Alex has so much stuff ready to rock and roll that by the time I come back around, when I come back around to being able to, okay, all right, let me dig my fingers back in, that there's still stuff in the queue and I can just start kind of tacking things on at the end. Or if we get a giant swell in popularity and massive sales or whatever, then I can go ahead and there's stuff that we can insert in when we have the opportunity. So that's the whole, to give you the general nutshell. I mean, it's a long process to make these things, to make sure that they're as fair and fun and narratively sound as possible. But it also, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that between now Alex and I that we discuss. Is this a good unit? Do we want to do these sorts of things? Do we want to worry about that now, or do we future-proof the rule with this unit, knowing that we're going to use it with this one later on? And that's what a lot of that stuff. That's what a lot of that stuff coming out of last weekend's pre-play test stuff really hit home, is that there was a handful of things that just needed some wording love. Just the words themselves weren't quite right. That kind of thing. And I'm very excited to get them in the hands of the playtesters and start hearing their feedback too. Because while Alex and I obviously, love to banter about gaming and game design and design theory and Warzone theory, and we get to talk about that stuff all the time. There is something to be said for someone who is they're in it to win it. No, they're in it to enjoy the game as much as the final consumer is, I find the playtesters are that way. The playtesters are not solely doing it because they want to make a good product. They're also doing it because they want to eventually play this game, and they want to play and enjoy and go do tournaments and have run campaigns and play the scenario packs, and that's the stuff that they want to do too. So giving that stuff to them and making sure that they have that stuff on hand, ready to go, so they're not just sitting there like, we've been playtesting the same units for 2 years. I want to be able to give them new stuff, and I want to be able to give them new stuff soon. So I took it on myself to make sure that I really, really, really forced into focusing on the next chunk of good stuff rather than looking at the whole picture like I often do. I was like, no, focus on what Alex and I have planned as next. Focus, blinders on. And that's kind of what I was doing. And I did have a couple of really fun moments. I don't want to spoil anything, because the sculpt isn't finalized, and we know what we want, but until it's finalized and everything is ready to rock and roll, I don't want to say anything. But one particular unit, one of my playtesters said that they wanted to try a particular style of force, and where it's really, really, really focused on one unit, but not the kind of, everyone says something about the spam list, that one of our playtesters, Kevin, he's amazing. I love him. But he's very, very fond of the Shinobi Sniper, and talks about how spamming the Shinobi Sniper means that he can win all day long. And this isn't that kind of spam. It's more along the lines of, if I take 9 of I guess it was 7 of this trooper, and then like 4 of this individual, this other character, or this other unit, is this a doable list? Is it possible? And it turned out, not only is it possible, it's kind of scary. It is very, very heavily based around having big bubbles of first aid access. So I'm very, very excited. I had so much fun with that particular list that I don't foresee many changes to that unit. Because while it was fun, I still lost. But it was fun, and it was tactically sound. My rolls were average, but it did what I wanted it to do, and it felt right. So that's that kind of, I check that list, check her off my list, and say this goes into the unit queue. So yeah, that's what I did. But then it got me so jazzed, and coming into Monday, I actually was kind of in a bad mood on Monday. Had some stuff go awry, and I was like, I'm going to settle in, and I'm gonna go ahead and focus on updating Warzone Eternal stuff, updating the pre-play test units, update the design logs, and I got just kind of in it, and I just kept going, and I started going through all of my different waves and all of my different documents, and updating everything, and I found, I would see this one and go, oh man, that's like a year old. I can totally update this with the new stuff. And I just started updating. And by Tuesday, I had brought everything up to speed and changed the wordings to match more to our current, rules nomenclature. And it just really, it was so nice. While Alex was off at PAX Unplugged, showing people the game, I was like, you know what? I really want to do my part, from afar. And so I really dug in, and I'm very, very happy with where the pre-play test stuff is right now. And Alex and I are meeting this morning. We talked about a lot about how some of the things are going to need to be covered, and a few little minor changes here and there to some of the things. But I'm hoping very, very soon to be able to get the next wave and the graviton stuff out to the playtesters for them to really dig their teeth in. Because I'm so excited. Basically, I'm just really, really excited about Warzone Eternal stuff right now. Very, 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 very happy. What we got? Michael says, "Yay, Warzone teases." I'm not really teasing much, as just saying that there's new stuff heading into playtest soon, and I'm very happy with the new stuff. I don't think I teased anything. Maybe I talk real fast, especially when I'm heavily caffeinated. Also, playtesters may or may not like breaking stuff. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, I like having both. I like having both of those types of playtesters, because the ones that can break the system point out places where we could probably figure out if it is a flaw, if it is something that is not intentional, then yeah, we need to fix it. Or if it's something that we need to look out for and maybe find a way to tweak the cost, or work in a different flexibility to a different unit to make them more of a competition for that spot in your force, that kind of thing. But I also want people just to sit down and have a good time. I want people to. I want the occasional playtester to just go, "Oh my god, I did this thing and it was the most fun I had all the time." So, which I will say, I'm having the most fun in the Discord channel when people are posting their beta version 2 game game reports. The pictures and stuff, that's fine. I mean, it's a lot of proxies because models don't exist yet, but we get to see the kind of boards people are setting up. They're talking about the scenarios that they're using. It's just really, really awesome. And I am very happy that the Discord channel, for the most part, has been so I don't want to say accommodating. That's not right. It's been a very positive place. There's been a few, hiccups. It is what it is. You can't please everybody all the time. But I'm very glad that most of the time, even when there is a problem, the people, the fans, the playtesters that are on there, they snap to and they figure it out. And very rarely have I even needed to really answer anything apart from just going, yeah, this guy knows what's up. Playtesting got to try and break things to see what needs the most touch up. Exactly. I love when playtesters say, this is great, we love it, it's amazing, I love it, I'll use it all the time. But that is far less helpful than someone goes, hey, rocket launchers that have scattering templates is too good. Because a lot of times, you get, as a designer and a writer and a developer, you look at this stuff and you look at it all day long, constantly, and you get kind of blind to, what your concept was, but you get kind of blind to the actual, here is the use on how that hits the table. So it is very refreshing sometimes for someone to go, no, hey, by the way, at 40 points, it's possible to take 5 rocket launchers and just saturation bombing the opponent. And if they scatter, it's impossible to miss in deployment zone B. And so that's like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. Glad thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, so it's just, I think it is. It is so nice to be in a community again that is trying their best to make it a cool, fun place to play, and that's that. But also having a tactically sound game that, should tournaments become a thing, it doesn't end up being there's one army that only ever wins. My nose itches. Yeah. So. The very long drawn out thing of that's the gaming that I did. Work's been crazy. It's been a madhouse. The Kickstarter over at Mario over at Linvander Studios that wrapped up, did well. I think we got to just shy of 50,000, which is I won't lie, it's a little disheartening to see that how a world that I know is so amazing and so rich and so deep and has so many cool rules do that, and then seeing one that just launched a couple of days ago do $2 million specifically off of the heels of it's not D&D, and that that bothers me. I will say that while I completely understand, people have their gaming preferences one way or the other. I posted something on my Facebook recently where I said that if you come to me, even if it's like a whatchamacallit, a spot, a potential, hey, we want to do an unboxing, hey, we want you to talk about our Kickstarter, hey, for me, or if they want me to be involved as a freelancer or something like that. If your marketing pitch is not look how awesome our stuff is, but instead is we're not this, look at these other people, they do it this way, it puts a bad taste on my mouth and I don't like it. Now, I'm not saying that that's what this current Kickstarter is doing. They are definitely propping up their own product very, very well. And it seems like a good product. Like, it seems solid. But I go into the comment section, and the reason people are spreading it, the reason people are, you should go back this. Why? Is it a good game? It's not D&D. That's not. All right, I'm digressing. But yeah, so the Amaria Kickstarter did really well. Very, very happy with the stuff that I did over there, and I'm planning on doing more stuff with them. Actually, I was talking to them just recently. I've got a few ideas that I want to eventually pitch to them and find a way to get that in their world, because I think they would have a good. I think that it'd be fun, and it would be something that I have not seen, and I definitely think that their world is the right theater for it. Let's see, what else? Work-wise? A lot of Everyday Heroes stuff going through, talking to a lot of licenses. It's toward the end of the year, so a lot of people don't want to make any decisions until the new year. Everybody's kind of coming up on the end of work. We're getting ready to go into the holiday break, and so it's a lot of prep. January we're gonna hit the ground hard, obviously. But there's a lot of really cool stuff. I did the not Men in Black Everyday Heroes expansion thing that we've got online, the PDFs that we're selling. The second one came out last week, and I'll if you go to the Evil Genius website and go to the shop, or you can go to Drive Through RPG, it's on there. It's like $5. You should totally check it out. It's got a couple of a bunch of new equipment and new feats and things that is based on the whole aliens in Everyday Heroes. So you should check it out. And if you know anybody who is into Everyday Heroes, you should have them check it out. What else? I do have a cool announcement from one of our sponsors. The Sovereignty guys, or Sovereignty, if you say it quickly. The online board game emulator. They are doing a special thing right now where their stuff is completely free for the month of December. Basically, you can go there as long as you sign in, you are completely on for all of their board games. Basically, you set up any kind of account and you have access to everything. So you should swing over there, and if you until I think they said my code, the code that we have here works until the 15th of December or the 22nd of December. The code ProNerd gets you 60 days of platinum access for free. So it'll bleed over past December. And then starting in January, we're going to have a new code. It's just an alteration of the old code. It's instead of being just ProNerd, it is ProNerd 2024. And it's the same deal. You get 60 days platinum access for free. We can play all kinds of cool board games online with your friends or against a computer or with randos. And I didn't mean to turn this into an ad read, but I did want to make sure that everybody knows that if you are even remotely interested, use my code, hop on there, and play some games. I say that at the end of every video, but you should totally play some cool games. I'm very excited to dive into because things have been so hectic and so busy lately with both Warzone and my regular Everyday Heroes gig or Evil Genius gig. Is during the holiday break, I'm not going to stop working, but I am going to focus heavily on the Shadowrun novel and try and see if I can't get that wrapped up. It's not technically due until like February 1st. But I want to be able to get as much done on it as I can. So I'm still going to be in the studio. I'm still going to have access. I'm not going off the grid or anything weird. But I'm definitely going to dive in during the holidays and get that taken care of. But apart from that, I'm excited for getting a couple of weeks of maybe a little lower stress, perhaps, to relax a bit. I did set up a really cool meeting to talk about a project that I'm on with a bunch of people that is going to, I think it goes, I want to say that it's going to head to Kickstarter in the spring. I'm not 100% sure exactly when, but that's going to be a lot of fun. I get to work with Ed Greenwood again, and a bunch of Sean Merwin, and there's a whole lot of really cool people in that project too. So that'll be fun. It's for me, it's almost completely narrative what I'm doing. Rather than crunch, the rules are being handled elsewhere, but I get to do a lot of digging my fingers in to kind of fictional concept. So I'm excited. It'll be fun. And I'll tell you more about that when I can. I signed up for other work stuff. I signed up to do a charity live stream on December 30th for Extra Life. So that'll be fun. And something else. Oh, I'm in talks of doing a series of actual plays in the spring, but that's not nearly as gelled yet. It's still very formative, and we'll figure out where we're going to be at that point. Justin says, I'm trying to sell my group on switching over to Everyday Heroes. They've been enjoying your modern D20 one-shot. Oh, sweet. Yeah, dude, if there's anything that I can do to help, or if you need, if you need anything Everyday Heroes wise to kind of spring on them, let me know and I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can come up with. Not to mention, I don't know if you're already running I know you do Game Master stuff for Renegade. We are looking for organized play organized play people, and I know that like Sage's Shop, which is a game store here in the Lafayette area, I know that Sage's Shop and Tier 1 both, they are I think they're both signed up for the Ego program. So check my Facebook, grab the link, and sign up. Be a local, earn cool stuff, earn free stuff. Not to mention, it gets you in the pipe. You added your list for the Ego. Awesome, fantastic. Or added your name to the list. Fantastic. All right. So that's pretty much my very long-winded week in Bryan. I can't express how excited I am for us to get closer, and as we get closer and closer, every time that we get another meeting to talk about the process for Warzone Eternal and how close we are to actually sending the fiction book off to print, and just it's so cool to see this project. It's been two plus years in the making. It's cool to see this stuff gelling, and I also can't express enough how fantastic of a partner Alex is. Um, he is got such an unbelievable grasp of how businesses function, how he wants his business to function, and I'm very fortunate that he reached out to me and got me involved in this project. Um, Pew, pew, pew. All right, so let's open it up for any kind of questions. If anybody has anything that they want to ask, we're about half an hour in, and I am out of things to tell you about for the week. We're getting close to the heading off into the thing. Did I see the preview video for the new and yes. So I actually was literally just talking about the MCDM RPG Kickstarter, and that I am astonished at just the blockbuster numbers that those guys are doing, and that I mean it's awesome. I'm glad that they're doing so well. Sad that we didn't get that kind of fanfare for the Pillars of Power over at Amaria. But I definitely uh, I like what I see over there. I think that it's cool. It's not a system for me. It's a little too simplified in my opinion. Um, but I definitely see that it's got an audience, and I definitely think that it's the art is just top notch. Like the art and the images and stuff that they're using over there, I blow me away. I am very, very happy for those guys. And I hope that their success continues. I do hope that a lot of their fans stop turning it into a license war. You know, we're not D&D, we're not Pathfinder. Just be happy that your thing's doing so well and it looks so good. I'm going to rant a little bit, or I was ranting a little bit. But yes, no, I saw that. It looks they have definitely spent a lot of time and money and effort to make that thing happen. I'm very very happy. Any gaming things on your or your family's Christmas wish list? Ooh, that's a good question. For everyone to be happy. No, I mean, yeah, but that's not on my wish list. I think the big thing that I'm hoping to be able to accomplish post Christmas is to get my 3D printing up and running again. With the few donations that I got through the channel, plus hopefully some Christmas stuff. I'm hoping to be up and running again in the spring. That's my goal. So that I think that now, as far as my family's Christmas wish list, Connor got one of the things that he is very, very much, he was very interested in. He got that for his birthday / Christmas because it was expensive. But and then Asa has turned to be far less of a gamer. So I can't speak for their gaming desires. For Natalie, I do know that one of the things that she really, really, really wants is she wants to be able to back the Dungeon in a Box, their new kind of like magnetic terrain thing that they've got at Kickstarter right now. It's cool stuff. It's very, very cool stuff. I don't know if I can justify the price tag on it right now. But I've done and sold and occasionally do some work with the Dungeon in a Box guys. So I may try and wheel and deal a little bit with them once the Kickstarter's over and see if I can't get her some of that fancy stuff. Anybody else is it's weird if you've got a member of the family that's industry. A lot of times, I get a lot of my stuff as part of unboxings, or it's something I worked with, or somebody I worked for. So I don't often put a lot of gaming stuff on my wish list, just because all year long it's gaming, gaming, gaming. I'm more likely to put cooking stuff and truffle oil and maybe a new chef's knife. Like, these are things that I'm like, in this case, my 3D printer. These are things that I normally focus on when I put together my wish list. I'm lame that way. I don't know. But yeah, I think Connor made a joke the other day. We were talking about dice, because his dice box is getting pretty full, and he does D&D club at school. And I was like, "Do you want to take some of your dice?" He's like, I was like, "Do you have dice for D&D club? Because your dice normally stay here, and on Wednesday nights you head back over to your mom's house. So, do you want to take a set of your dice with?" And he goes, "Nah, they've got dice." And I was like, "But you don't want to use yours?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, why would I do that?" And while I am not a dice superstition person, far from it, it made me kind of like, I had to take a double take. I'm like, "Bah, bah, bah. What do you mean, a gamer that doesn't want to have their own dice with them for games? You're just okay using somebody else's math rocks?" So it is definitely weird. But I dig it. And in fact, I think one of the things I may try and get him, because he's at school right now, so he can't be on this live. I think one of the things I might try and get him is a like a travel dice bag, like specifically for D&D club, to put like a set or two of his dice from there in there. That might be cool. I think that most of the table missed that day. Most of the table missed that day. Most of the table. Justin, I don't know what you mean. Most of the table missed that day. I don't know what you're talking about. You have confused me. Actinet says, "Click, clack, shiny math rocks. I always got to use my own. Don't trust anyone else's." Yeah, I'm not against using someone else's dice. I would rather have my own. I would rather have my own tools, even though I don't believe in dice being any different than each other. It's all just random. James says, "Thanks for sharing. Maybe you need one of the cool cookbooks they're doing in nerd themes." I've got a bunch. I've got a handful of them, and they're neat. They're fun. And in fact, I can't talk about it because the project has not come together yet. But I do know that next year someone is putting together a very, very, very cool gamer themed cookbook thing. And I'm in talks with them to get a couple of recipes and stat blocks in there. So more on that in the future, I suppose. Didn't you have that conversation at? I did, Justin. You're right. You are correct. You did hear that. Where Connor basically was like, "Yeah, I don't need my own dice." I'm like, you didn't imagine that. That did happen at the thing. Are there more Chronicles from the Warzone articles planned? The Screaming Fury. The Immaculate Fury work in progress was particularly interested. I do know that Alex has some more planned. So for everybody who's listening, the Warzone Eternal or Resnova has a blog, has a Chronicles from the Warzone that basically anytime there's something big and special and fun that Alex wants to tell everybody about, he makes sure that there's an article about it. And that's also where he maybe shows off some art or maybe a render of a model or something like that. So there should be more of those coming. As a side note, the backer kit, the late backer thing, the backer kit is going to be closing very soon. I think the advertised date is a week from now. The 15th is when that's going to be closing. which means anybody who wants to get in to get their late back, they get there to change their stuff or whatever. That's going to happen in the next week, because once it's closed and locked down, Alex will start to process all that background stuff, and then early in the new year, things will start to start gelling together on a business level. But we need to be able to lock in those numbers so we can get the fabricators to start building stuff. That is very important for us. So if you've got anything that you need to finalize, get it finalized now. Not to mention, if you've got anybody who you know that's like, they're kind of kicking the tires and going, hey, I want to get in on it. If they want to be able to get in on it now and get the Kickstarter stuff and get the add-ons and all that stuff, they've got a week. And then after that, it's going to go to retail, and anything that is not going to retail, they're looking at eBay at the best. Yeah. So as far as the Immaculate Fury design article goes, I love where that model is on every side of the coin. I think the art looks great. I love the initial concept of what we want to do with it as what role it fills. And then I can tell you this for certain, it is a ton of fun to put a couple of them on the battlefield. Ding. So I guess that actually does count as a straight up tease. Yeah, what else? Oh, someone is pinging the crap out of me on Discord. I want to make sure that it's not. Okay. I want to make sure there wasn't somebody related to the live being like, hey, your microphone doesn't work, or something along those lines. Yeah, so any other questions? If not, I may end this a little early so I can get back to my day. But I'm not kicking anybody out. Obviously, I want you to be able to stick around and ask your questions and be part of the nerd kingdom. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask that. A lot of channels have names for their fans. Like Critical Role has the Critters. Pathfinder Society has Math Geniuses. There's that sort of thing. I want to know. I don't want to call you guys like the Legion of Nerds or Nerdists, because I'm pretty sure the Nerdist is already a thing. Yeah, so just friends, fans, and family. I got nothing. I don't know. Oh, but we did just lose a viewer. Oh no, I must have said something. I made fun of Pathfinder, and therefore they got tired of me. They're like, I'm done. The Legion of Steel. Yeah, I was in a meeting last week where we had to use a bunch of color coordinated things, and everybody's picking like bright blue and green and fancy thing. And I grabbed this kind of drab gray, and they were like, hey Bryan, what's up with the what's up with your color choice? And I was like, it's steel color. Yeah, so I carry my puns with me wherever I can. Although I will absolutely take the silver medal to one of my coworkers, Michael. It is a constant stream of puns out of that guy. Even if you're in like the most like depressing conversation or a meeting that's just like, oh God, this could have been 2 emails, I could always count on him to deliver a nice fun pun or two. He's a very punny guy. Yeah, so any other questions? Anybody want to know things that I might be able to talk about? Looking for the live chat. Singing the song about live chat. Nothing. Crickets. No, I just I'm very excited. There are so many cool things happening next year. Obviously, some things that I can't talk about because of legality, but um, if I'm looking at like 3 different licenses through Evil Genius. Um, Probably only 1 or 2 of those may actually come together during that year, during the year. Because it is as a company, as we expand, we've got to kind of divide our focus on different things, and so it is definitely something that I have to pay attention to. That while I would love to be able to just dive in and go, it's not realistic. But we are taking a look at which ones would be the best fits. Um, we we've got a bunch of new PDF style stuff planned, like little munchies for people to grab and add to their games. Um, it's a good time. The end of the year is always neat to reflect and think about. When I'll do my video, my looking back on 2023 video here in a couple weeks. I try to do that every year, kind of the New Year, New Year's resolutions kind of thing, gamer resolutions. And it is, I'm very happy. And I don't want anyone to think, even though I might give people I might give people grief, and I might get grumpy about things, or get on my soapboxes occasionally. I am in a good place. I'm in a good headspace for the most part. There are so many things right at the beginning of next year that even if they end not as positively as I would like them, or even negatively in some cases, things that we've been waiting on professionally and personally, just to stop having the chainsaws up in the air, just to know whether or not they've landed, or whether or not I can set them down, is going to be a big relief. First quarter next year, I'm sure it will come with its own wonderful stress. But there are several things that I know that are coming to a close one way or another in those first couple months. And I'm very, very much looking forward to being able to put that stuff to bed. Even if it is not in the way that I want it to be. I hope that it will be. But even if it ends up being not in the way I want it to be, just to not have it on my plate and not have it, little voices in the back of my head. Not that I always hear voices. Shh. But yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm very happy with things. Tomorrow is my wife puts on a Friendsmas party every year. This one, because it's just general weirdness and stress and timing and planning, it is going to be very, very, very low attendance. It's probably going to be just a handful of people eating snacks and playing games, which has Natalie a little depressed, but we didn't send invites out early enough. It was on us, because we also weren't 100% sure exactly when we were going to be able to do it. So it's just it is what it is, and I hope that she realizes that it is not a reflection on her or us. It is just the fact that everybody's busy. Adults be adulting, so to speak. Next time we know to send out the invites far in advance and get that picked and get it selected and get it locked in for some of these people. Justin says sorry that we will Friendsmas this week. Oh, sorry that we will miss Friendsmas this weekend. Family Christmas in Illinois. It, like I said, adulting. It happens, and it is just one of those things where, if it's just a handful of people, we'll make the best of it. I just want to make sure that Natalie doesn't think that it's because of some kind of negative. It is what it is. Everybody's busy. We should have planned this earlier, and we didn't. So it happens. But I'll tell you all about it next week. Whether when I do the Week in Bryan for next week, whether it's a live show or not, I'll tell you how everything went down. Dun, dun, dun. But for now, we are going to call it a day. I'm going to go and have some lunch and then get ready for my next meeting because I've got another one soon. All right. So you know how this ends. You know how things, how all this, stuff wraps together is, please be safe. The weather has, or at least around us, the weather's been real weird lately. So drive safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if places you want to, or you feel you need to, or you're asked to. Don't be a jerk. Get your shots. If you start feeling a cough, come on, take some preventative cough medicine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be safe and try and leave every room a little happier than when you got there. And I think we'll all be in much better shape. But until then, until next week, friends, family, Legion of Steel, much love to you and yours, and we'll see you next week. Play some games.